Shalom, Israel. It is us, the Israelites, not the Equalites. You know, we're coming to you with a lesson that's entitled. What is the lesson title? The destruction of Nicanor, which should have been done last night, brothers and sisters, because we go into Purim this evening. But we want to let everybody know that we do keep these days, and we apologize. And so we're coming to you this evening with the destruction of Nicanor. You know, Nicanor was an uppity guy. He wanted a better position than what he had already. And he finally got the position. But when he got the position, it wasn't all that he thought it was. And so we're going to have our brother. He's going to start out. You around? He's going to start out in the book of First Maccabees. And we're going to be looking at chapter 7. As well, the sister was saying that it's more information. Where, sister? Yeah.
Shalom, family. Getting more information about destruction of Nicanor, you'll also find in 2 Maccabees chapter 8, verses 1 through 36, 2 Maccabees chapter 14, verses 3 through 46, 2 Maccabees chapter 15, verse 36.
And when they want to look at the other day that we are supposed to be celebrating starting today, that would be found in the book of Esther, right?
Yes, for Purim, you'll find that in Esther chapter 9, verse 20 through 32.
All praises, sister. She ain't teaching.
No.
She just giving some information, brothers and sisters. Don't get it twisted. We in class. Okay? All right, so we're going to have our brother Yoram with us this evening, with Sister Hanaya and the prophet Shem. And the Super Bowl is over with, so you don't have everybody should be in here this evening.
That's right.
Come on, my brother. Start with First Maccabees chapter 7 at 1.
First Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1.
Come on, brother.
First Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1.
Read.
In the 150th year, Domitius, the son of Seleucus.
You know, brothers and sisters, I want to apologize because there are some words that's going to be in here that may not be the right pronunciation, but we're going to get it as close as we possibly can. All praises?
All praises.
All praises. Come on, brother.
Departed from Rome
Uh-huh.
and came up with a few men
Uh-huh. Come on.
unto a city of the seacoast.
Coming to around where we are. Come on.
And reigned there. And as he entered into the palace of his ancestors.
So, excuse me. So, you know, he's talking about some Israelites right now because he's talking about his ancestors. Come on.
So it was that his forces have taken Antiochus and Lysias to bring them unto him.
Okay, read, my brother.
Wherefore, when he knew it, he said, let me not see their faces.
Uh-huh. Come on.
So his hosts slew them.
Killed them. Come on.
Now when Domitius was set upon the throne of his kingdom.
Come on.
There came unto him all the wicked and ungodly men of Israel.
You see, it's just like today, brothers and sisters. There are a lot of Israelites, but there are also a lot of wicked Israelites that are not going to be able to attain the kingdom. That's what we were talking about this past Shabbat about. There are some Israelites out there that are wicked. And just because you're an Israelite don't mean that you get a free pass. There's work that has to be done, brothers and sisters. And so we want to make sure that we let everyone know that it's not a free pass. That's what the church tell you. But that's not the truth. We're here to do what? To delete the lies and download the truth. That's our mission statement. That's INE's mission statement. To delete the lies and download the truth. That's right. We don't preach hate. They hate the truth. Come on, brother.
Having
where you at?
Verse 5.
Come on.
Having Alchemist who was desires to be high priest for their captain.
See, he wanted to be the high priest. He was an Israelite, wasn't he? See, he was a wicked Israelite. Come on. That sold his people out. Come on.
And they accused the people to the king, saying, Judas and his brethren have slain all thy friends.
Come on.
And driven us out of our own land.
Is that what he did? That's what this dude did. He drove the people out of their own land. So it goes to show you that that's the same way, that mentality that we see some people today. They hate their brothers and sisters. Come on.
Now therefore send some man whom thou trustest.
Wait a minute. Who thou what?
Whom thou trustest.
You got to have somebody that you can trust, brothers and sisters.
And let him go and see what havoc he hath made among us.
Havoc, turmoil, trouble, problems. Come on.
And in the king's land, and let him punish them with all them that aid them.
You see, they said, let them come on. But we want them to be punished.
That's right.
All of them that's on their side, all of them that they buddies. You know, like the America, they have what? Allies. And that's what this is. This is people they talking about. Well, it's talking about their allies, people that's in their corner want to do the same thing. That may not like you, but they are there because they can benefit from you helping us, because your military and all those things that you have is greater than theirs. So they need your protection. So even though they may not like you, they are there for you because what you can do for them. Come on.
Then the king chose Bacchus, a friend of the king, who ruled beyond the flood.
Come on.
And was a great man in the kingdom and faithful to the king.
See, he was faithful to who? He was faithful to the king. You see? Come on, brother.
And now he sent with that wicked Equalites.
Wait a minute. Read that. Where you at, brother?
Verse 9.
Read that again. Read it.
Verse 9. And him he sent with that wicked Equalites.
Talking about that Israelite brother that became a sellout. Come on.
Whom he made high priest.
See, he got his wish. He wanted to be a high priest. So now he's a high priest. Come on.
And commanded that he should take vengeance of the children of Israel.
See, once, as you will see, brothers and sisters, what's this guy's name? Who? Alchemist. He hated his own people. He wanted to be the high priest, and he got what he wanted. By what? By selling out his people. And now he's going to read that again for me, brother.
First Maccabees chapter 7, verse 9.
Read.
And him he sent that with that wicked Equalites.
He was wicked. Come on.
Whom he made high priest.
See, he made him high priest.
And commanded that he should take vengeance of the children of Israel.
See, he got promoted to be high priest, to kill the Israelites, to kill the children of Israel, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You see, and that's the same thing that's going on today. Nothing has changed, man. It's just a different time. But everything is the same. Come on.
So they departed and came with a great power.
They departed and came with a great army. Come on.
Into the land of Judea, where they sent messengers to Judas and his brethren with peaceable words deceitfully.
You see what they did? They did. Read that again, my brother.
Verse 10. So they departed and came with a great power into the land of Judea, where they sent messengers to Judas and his brethren with peaceable words deceitfully.
You see, it's just like it was when you look at the book of Psalms. I think it's 50 or 55, verse 19 and 20, how they did the native Indians. They said shalom, which meant peace. Would somebody want to get that for me, please? It's 55. Start at verse, let's go to 19.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Yahweh shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old,
Uh-huh.
because they have no changes, therefore they fear not Yahweh.
They don't fear.
He hath put forth his hands against such as he be at peace with him.
Shalom, which meant peace. They were mesmerized by how these people knew their language. And they extended a hand, shalom, which meant peace. Come on, sister.
He hath broken his covenant.
He broke his covenant.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
They were what?
Smoother than butter.
The Bible says that the words of those people's mouth were smoother than butter.
But war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
They were being very deceitful, like they did the Native Indians. Not going to talk about no Native Americans, Native Indians. And it's the same way that this is situation that is coming today. Come on, brother.
Verse 11.
Read.
But they gave no heed to their words.
Come on.
For they saw that they were come with a great power.
Because they came, you know, when people, even back in the days when Alexander the Greek, he had all the artillery, he had all the soldiers. Everywhere he went, he outnumbered his foes. Even when he went to what? Egypt. And the king of Egypt, they didn't even put up a fight. They surrendered immediately to Alexander the Greek. In your history books, in school, they call him Alexander the Great. But he's Alexander the Greek. And so these people, they always came outnumbering people. If you had 500, they had 10,000. And that's how, and these people had elephants in those days. They had all kind of things that put all the nation that they defeated at a disadvantage.
That's right.
Come on, brother.
Then did there assemble unto alchemists and Bacchus a company of scribes to require justice.
They're going to come and they're going to destroy and kill people. Come on.
Now the Assyrians were the first among the children of Israel that sought peace of them.
Give me the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and give me verses 9 and 10, sister. Because it's something that we always do. Even today, we're still doing it. And the Bible tells us that we shouldn't do these things. Come on. Ecclesiastes.
Reading from the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 9.
Come on, sister.
In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
Come on, with 10.
Never trust thine enemy.
That's what was the native Indians' fault, and that was what the Israelites' fault is right now, what we are talking about right now. Come on.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So is his what?
Wickedness.
Come on, read 11.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him.
Don't trust him. Be aware of him. Be leery. Watch him. Come on.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Come on.
Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
In your place. Come on.
Neither let him sit at the right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
13.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as thy nigh wild animals?
You can't trust them, brothers and sisters. No matter how they come at you, don't trust them, because they are wicked. They are very deceitful. And that's what always put us at a disadvantage when we are that way already. But it further and further put us in a disadvantage when we trust our enemy, when our enemy seek to destroy us. And we continue to want to trust our enemy. And the Bible says that, read that again for me, sister, in verse 10.
Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
And this is a true statement. Come on.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
You don't never stop being wicked. They always got something against you. They hate you because God loved you and God chose you. But because of the disobedience of the children of Israel, God put them at a bigger disadvantage for their enemies and oppressors. And he did it through their own people. Come on.
Verse 14. For say they one that is a priest of the seed of Aaron.
From the seed of Aaron
is come with this army, and he will do us no wrong.
You see, that's what they say. He ain't gonna do us no wrong. Come on, brother.
So he spake unto them peaceably.
Yeah, he spoke to them peaceably. Oh man, how you doing, brother? Everything is good. Are you okay? Come on.
And swore unto them, saying, we will procure the harm neither of you nor your friends.
We ain't gonna bother you. We all good. Come on.
Whereupon they believe him, howbeit.
See, we believe him. We trust in him. But the Bible says don't trust your enemy. Come on, but we believe in him. Come on, brother.
He took of them 70 men and slew them in one day.
In how many days?
In one day.
Because they trusted. They slew him in one day. Come on.
According to the words which he wrote.
See, their word is not, they violate their word all the time. Come on.
The flesh of thy saints have they cast out, and their blood have they shed round about Jerusalem.
Round about where?
Jerusalem.
See, in our land. They came to Jerusalem to kill us. Come on.
And there was none to buy them, to bury them.
There was none to bury them. They just left us out. And we know what happened. When they left us out, there was nobody to come and do what? Fray those things away that was trying to eat them up. Eat them. Thought they were dead. They didn't care and have no regards or nothing about them. And it was all because they trusted their brother that had sold out to the king so that he could be the high priest. And so, exchange for being the high priest, he was ordered to go and kill the Israelites. Come on, brother.
Wherefore the fall.
Where you at?
Verse 18.
Come on.
Wherefore the fear and dread of them fell upon all the people.
No, just some of the people.
All the people.
All the people. Come on.
Who said there is neither truth nor righteousness is them.
In them. There is no truth or righteousness. What, brother?
In them.
In them. You see, they've been told this. Come on.
For they have broken the covenant and oath that they made.
You see, they came in peace. They came talking peaceable words. But read that little last part, brother, of 18. Read that last part.
Verse 18. That they have broken the covenant and oath that they made.
You see? Because you weren't supposed to be trusting your enemy anyway. They broke the oath and their covenant. They come out as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Give me that in Psalms 58 and 3. This Bible is the truth, brothers and sisters. And we got to start obeying it. If not, it's going to continue to be our demise by the other nations. Come on.
Psalms chapter 58, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
The Bible says the wicked are estranged from the womb.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
Doing what?
Speaking lies.
Speaking lies. You can't trust them. How can you trust a liar? Don't trust your enemy, because your enemy is born speaking lies.
Yep.
And they break their covenant that they made. The agreement that they make with you, they break so they can have an advantage. They don't come to you face to face like they just come with you with deceit. And that's what's happening here. Come on.
Verse 19.
Read,
After
brother.
this, remove Bacchus from Jerusalem
Uh-huh.
and pitched his tents in Bethel, where he sent and took many of the men that have forsaken him, and certain of the people also. And when he had slain them, he cast them into the great pit.
You see, brothers and sisters, they are always working to get an advantage.
That's right.
Even though they may outnumber you with soldiers, they are so cowardly and scared that they got to always do something deceitful to get you, because you always want somebody to like you.
Yep.
And you trust in your enemy that's bound to destroy you, even in your own city.
Yep.
Jerusalem. Come on.
First Maccabees chapter 7, beginning of verse 20.
Come on.
Then committed he the country to Elchmus,
Uh-huh.
and left with him a power to aid him.
I left with him a massive army to aid him.
So Bacchus went to the king,
Come on.
but Elchmus contended for the high priesthood,
Uh-huh. Come on.
and unto him resorted all such as troubled the people,
Uh-huh.
who, after they had gotten the land of Judah
Uh-huh.
into their power,
Come on, sister.
did much hurt in Jerusalem.
In
That's a
Israel.
lie. Israel.
They did all these things in Israel when they wanted and tricked us. They come in to take everything that we have.
Yeah.
And we giving it to them. That's just like if you in a car and you crank that car up and you leave the keys in that car.
Yeah.
And you go in the store, ain't nobody steal that car. You gave that car away. Read that little part again, sister.
Verse 22. And unto him resorted all such as troubled the people,
Uh-huh.
who, after they had gotten the land of Judah unto their power, did much hurt in Israel.
You see? Trust. They ain't going no place that's trying to do nothing. They're coming right there in Israel, brother and sisters. This is the same thing that they do today. But we don't believe it. We hate our brothers and sisters, but we love our enemy and we love our oppressor. Come on, sister.
Now, when Judah saw all the mischief that Elchmus and his company had done among the Israelites, even above the heathen.
Come on, read it again.
Verse 23. Now, when Judah saw all the mischief
Uh-huh.
that Elchmus and his company had done among the Israelites,
See, they believed him. They trusted him. But then when they found out and saying the things that he had did, come on.
above the heathen, he went out into all the coasts of Judea round about, and took vengeance of them that had revolted from him, so that they durst no more go forth into the country.
Uh-huh. Come on.
On the other side, when Elchmus saw that Judas and his company had gotten the upper hand,
Had got an advantage.
and knew that he was not able to abide their force,
Wasn't able to compete with them.
he went again to the king and said all the worst of them that he could.
See, He went and told the king all kind of lies. As soon as they would be born, they speak lies. Nothing but lies, brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Come on, sister.
Verse 26. Then the king sent Nicanor.
Wait a minute. The king sent who?
Nicanor.
Where you at?
Verse 26.
Come on.
Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable prince.
He was like an armor bearer. You know, he did all these things for the king. He was like a flunky for the king. Come on.
A man that bare deadly hate unto Israel.
He hated Nicanor. He hated Israel. He hated us with a passion. Come on.
With commandment to destroy the people.
To destroy all the 12 tribes of Israel. Come on.
So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force.
See what it says? Nicanor came to Jerusalem with what, sister?
A great force.
With a lot of army. With a lot of men. Come on.
And sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully.
There you go again. See? Come on.
Deceitfully with friendly words.
And he came and did. Read that again.
So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force and sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully with friendly words.
Deceitfully with friendly words, brothers and sisters. You see? That's what they do. And that's why in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10, it tell you, never trust your enemy. People do things to show you that they're your enemy. Yeah. When they blatantly do things and show you that they're your enemy, why would you trust them? There's no second chance for your enemy when he already have an advantage over you. Come on, sister.
Verse 28.
Come on.
Let there be no battle between me and you.
You see what Nicanor is saying? You see what he's saying, brothers and sisters? He said, let there be no battle between me and you. Come on.
I will come with a few men that I may see you in peace.
See? I'm just going to come with a few men. But at the top of the script, they tell you that he came with a whole lot of people. Yep. Read, sister.
He came therefore to Judas.
Where you at?
Verse 29.
Come on.
He came therefore to Judas, and they saluted one another peacefully.
See?
Howbeit, the enemies were prepared to take away Judas by violence.
You see? They came perpetrate, not demonstrate. They came lying. Yep. But they gave what? Peaceable words. The things that they said out their mouth was totally different than what their actions were. Come on.
Which thing after it was known to Judas, to wit, that he came unto him with deceit.
With what?
Deceit. He was sore afraid of him and would see his face no more.
Scared. Come on.
Nicanor also, when he saw that his counsel was discovered.
When Nicanor found out that they knew what was going on. Come on.
Went out to fight against Judas beside Kafar Salama, where there was slain of Nicanor's side, about 5,000 men, and the rest fled into the city of David.
You see, now what's happening? See? Now that read, sister.
After this, verse 33 of chapter 7 of 1 Maccabees.
Come on.
After this went Nicanor up to Mount Zion, and there came out of the sanctuary certain of the priests.
Because he wanted to go and just destroy and tear up everything. Come on.
And certain of the elders of the people to salute him peacefully.
You see, brothers and sisters, they came out there to pursue and to talk to this man peaceably. Come on.
And to show him the burnt sacrifices that was offered for the king.
And to show him all the things that was in there. You're going to destroy him. Come on.
But he mocked them.
He did what?
He mocked them.
Nicanor, he mocked them, sticking his neck out. Yeah, you know, this and that. You dumb. And he pointing that right hand and everything, you know what I'm saying? And he was very arrogant. Come on.
And laughed at them.
He did what?
Laughed at them.
He laughed at them.
And abused them shamefully.
Talked about them and abused them every kind of way that he could.
And spake proudly. And swear in his wrath, saying, unless Judas and his host be now delivered unto my hands.
See, Nicanor, he wanted everything. He was, you could imagine he was talking that smack, doing his neck all out. He was throwing that right hand and pointing all at people, like a person in authority. He was a very arrogant man. Come on.
If ever I come again in safely, I will burn up this house. And with that, he went out in a great rage.
He went out in rage. Wow. Come on.
Verse 36. Then the priest entered in and stood before the altar and the temple.
See, that's what he was wanting to go and destroy. He wanted to go and destroy the altar and the temple. Come on.
Weeping and saying, Thou, O Lord, didst show this house to be called, select. Thou, O Lord, didst choose this house to be called by thy name, and to be a house of prayer and petition
to
for
be
thy
a
people.
House of prayer and petition for who, sister?
Thy people.
For thy people. Come on.
Be avenged of this man and his host
and all his soldiers. Come on.
And let them fall by the sword.
Come on, sister.
Remember their blasphemies.
All the things that they did and they wanted to do in the temple. They wanted to destroy it. Come on.
And suffer them not to continue any longer.
Don't let them continue to rule. Don't let them continue to win. Even, you know what I'm saying? But, we asking God to do all these things, but we don't want to what? We want to trust our enemy.
Yep.
And what happens every time we trust our enemy? Even today. You got these people that was in Texas, this brother. He went out with these white guys. And they was in the bar drinking and everything. And the next thing you know, he was on the back of the truck being drugged. And killed. You see? Because they are not your friend. He said every one of them going to be destroyed. Not one of them is any good. Not one of them. But we want to continue to trust him because we want everybody to like us. That's not the way that you maneuver in Esau's kingdom. You don't maneuver in Esau's kingdom by trusting him. You maneuver in Esau's kingdom by being the same way that he is towards you.
That's right.
Come on.
39. So Nicanor went out of Jerusalem and pitched his tents in Beth Horon,
come on.
where an host out of Syria met him.
Come on, sister.
But Judas pitched in Adasa with 3,000 men.
Wait a minute. He only had 3,000 men. Come on.
And there he prayed.
Wait a minute. What did he do?
He prayed.
Why he prayed? He said that he went out there and he prayed. Come on.
Saying, O Lord, when they that were sent from the king of the Assyrians blasphemed, thine angel went out and smote 180,000 of them.
But how many people did Judas have when he came? He only had 4,000, right? No, he had 3,000. You see? But he did what? He prayed.
Yes, he did.
Because he was a holy, spiritual, and righteous man. And so God heard his prayer. And that's why I tell you in the book of John, chapter 9 and 31, we know that the Most High heareth not sinners.
That's right.
But he that does the will, him he heareth.
Yes, he does.
And so when he did, read that again, sister, for me, please.
Verse 41, O Lord, when they that were sent from the king of the Assyrians blasphemed, thine angel went out and smote 180,000 of them. 42, even so destroy thou this host before us this day, that the rest may know that he has spoken blasphemously against thy sanctuary.
Wait a minute. Where you at, sister?
Verse 42.
Read that again. Like I was telling you, Nicanor, he wanted to destroy the sanctuary. He wanted to destroy everything in there. Come on, read it again.
Verse 42. Even so, destroy thou this host before us this day, that the rest may know that he had spoken blasphemously against thy sanctuary, and judge thou him according to his wickedness.
Because he was wicked. And he wanted to destroy the sanctuary. He wanted to destroy everything that God stood for. He wanted to destroy everything that the Israelites had so they wouldn't have no place to go. All because what? He was an arrogant, cocky dude. Come on, sister.
Verse 43. So the 13th day of the month, Adar, the host joined battle, but Nicanor's host was discomfited.
They wasn't pleased. They was upset. Come on.
And he himself was first slain in the battle.
Wait a minute. These brothers went to have battle. They had 3,000 men, but they killed over 4,000. And they did that through what? Prayer. Yeah. Because God hears the prayer of the righteous. That's what it's talking about. They prayed to God, and he heard them. Read, sister.
Verse 44. Now when Nicanor's host saw that he was slain, they cast away their weapons and fled.
See? Because they were fearful. They were scared. They were just what they are always. They were cowards. They were cowards yesterday, and those same people are cowards today, brothers and sisters. When they found out that their leader had been killed, they ran. The same way when Alexander the Greek went and conquered Egypt, the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, he put up a fight. They surrendered right there immediately. Come on, sister.
Verse 45. Then they pursued after them a day's journey from Adasa unto Gezerah, sounding an alarm.
They was blowing that trumpet. Come on.
After them with their trumpets.
Wait a minute. Did what, sister?
Sounding an alarm after them with their trumpets.
Come on.
Whereupon they came forth out of all the towns of Judea round about.
And did what?
And closed them in, so that they, turning back upon them that pursued them, were all slain.
They were trying to run. See, they were trying to what they call it, retreat. They were trying to retreat. But what happened, sister? Read it again.
Yes. Let's see. Verse 46. Whereupon they came forth out of all the towns of Judea round about and closed them in, so that they, turning back upon them that pursued them, were all slain with the sword.
They were all slain with the sword.
And not one of them was left.
Not one of them was left, brothers and sisters. There was no residue left of them. Not one. They all were slain by the sword.
Verse 47. Afterwards, they took the spoils and the prey and smote off Nicanor's head.
What did they do?
Smote off Nicanor's head.
This is coming up. These scriptures is why we serve and we look, observe, and the destruction of Nicanor. Come on, sister.
And his right hand.
Read that again from the 47.
Verse 47. Afterwards, they took the spoils and the prey and smote off Nicanor's head.
They cut off Nicanor's head. Remember how he used to be doing the snake and acting like he was bad and everything? Come on.
And his right hand.
And all that pointing at people and, acting like he's so much in authority. And they cut off his head and they cut off his right hand. Come on.
Which he stretched out.
See?
So proudly. And brought them away and hangeth them up toward Jerusalem.
Wait a minute. He hung them up towards where?
Jerusalem.
That's why we look at and observe the destruction of Nicanor, because he was so cocky and he wanted to let Israel know that through prayer and supplication, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and obeying God, God will hear you in some of your most trying times. He destroyed those people. He destroyed cocky Nicanor. Took his head off, brothers and sisters. Took his right hand off.
That's right.
He won't be able to do the snake no more, and he won't be able to be pointing that right hand no more. Because he dead, and his head and his hands is a symbol to Israel to let them know that who that was, Judah? They had got the Judas Maccabee. They had got the victory. Don't you want that same victory today? Keep the commandments. Love the Most High. Love your brothers and sisters. Don't sell them out like what that dude named? Elkamus. Elkamus was an Israelite, but he sold his brothers and sisters out because he wanted a high power. A better position. Come on, sister.
Verse 48. For this cause the people rejoice
They did
greatly.
what? They did what?
For this cause the people rejoice greatly.
It's not nothing to be sad about.
No,
It's a great moment in Israel's history.
that's right.
The destruction of Nicanor.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, for this cause the people rejoice greatly,
Uh-huh.
and they kept that day
They kept that day.
of great gladness.
They kept that day with great gladness. That's why, brothers and sisters, we should be happy when this day come around. It goes to show that when you obey God, no matter how the odds are,
Yeah.
if you obey God, God is what? He's a lawyer that has never lost a case. He's a doctor that has never lost a patient. He's a warrior. He's a man of war that it talks about in the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and 3. It says, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. He's undefeated. And if you work for him, if you love him, if you obey him, you'll be undefeated as well.
That's right.
Come on, sister.
Verse 49. Moreover, they ordained to keep yearly
Every year we have to keep this. We have to observe this every year.
this day, being the 13th of Adar.
See, the day is what? The 13th? Come on.
Thus the land of Judea was in rest a little while.
Now we can have some comfort. Now we can have some relief. God has showed us his power. By being obedient, God will show us some things that we've never seen before, brothers and sisters. But we have to trust our brothers and sisters, not our enemies. All Israel ain't Israel.
That's right.
Just because they are Israelites, brothers and sisters, don't mean that you're supposed to trust them. I would say you got to test every spirit.
That's right.
Read 1 John. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Let's see what it says. Come on.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit,
Don't believe every spirit just because you got a brother that's the same pigmentation skin you have, saying the same thing you have. It don't mean nothing. You got to do what, sister?
but try the spirits,
You got to try the spirit to see if it's what?
whether they are of Yahweh,
Uh-huh.
because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
That's what these dudes were. They were false prophets. They were priests.
Yep.
High priests. They false prophets. To trick people with deceit so they can get an upper hand so that they can destroy us. Tired of being destroyed. I'm tired of trusting people that's not worthy of my trust, not worthy of your trust. We have to start doing a little bit more investigation of people because the Bible says all Israel is not Israel.
Yeah.
You see? There's some things that we have to do, brothers and sisters. We can't just be, oh, he's an Israelite. That don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing because you're an Israelite. God only loved the righteous Israelites. What you think happened to the people in Noah days? Those were Israelites. Destroyed them for their wickedness. He destroyed Nicanor because of his wickedness. That's what's happening. He left them powerless. That's right. Everything about any of those places, it ain't good for us. None of the churches or anything. When that day comes, every one of us in the INE, because we teach this and we say this every week, that we have to do what? We have to practice the righteous acts so that we may go down into the kingdom, into the gates. We don't want to go into the pit. We don't want to go into the lake. We want to go to the kingdom, the Most High's kingdom. And so, my brothers and sisters, I hope that you guys got something out of this lesson this evening. We go into Purim, but every time the destruction of Nicanor comes around, you should be glad and rejoicing. And know that if you obey God and you make a petition to God, He's going to hear you. He's not going to leave you or forsake you. He's not going to put you out there by yourself. Because with Him, all things are possible.
That's right.
All you got to do is obey Him. And with that, brothers and sisters, we say Shalom, Kwam, Yasharala. Peace. Hope to see everybody Wednesday night and on Shabbat. Peace.